Okay, so I was saying to the GPs, you take these two equations and you divide them. The higher power being on top, so higher power being on top, so r to the power 4, that's higher than r to the 1. So the second equation goes on top of the first, and you divide. Don't get me wrong, right? You can actually take these two equations and solve simultaneously, but you might use, let's say, substitution. Let's say you use substitution and I make r the subject. So r would be equal to 1 on 18a. So then you have to take this 1 on 18a and substitute it into here to get the a is 1 on 18a to the power of 4 is equal to 4 on 243. But I mean, who wants to do that? 1 on 18a to the power of 4? No. Why would you put yourself through that? That's not making sense. That's why we use this whole division thing, right? Just to make your life easier. But I mean, it's not impossible to do this whole substitution and all that. It's just real work, okay? So, and it will take up real time. So, yeah, divide the equations makes life very easy for you. If I divide the equations, higher power and lower power, these a's would cancel. 1. So these a's will cancel. And then r to the power of 4 divided by r to the power of 1 from indices. We know that we have to subtract the powers. So this would be r cubed because 4 minus 1 is 3, right? So that's r cubed. And then I have my fractions. 4 divided by 243 divided by 1 on 18. Simplify that, r is 2 on 3, or 2/5. Are you okay with that?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Please do not sit down and try to solve this simultaneously. It would take you forever, and because of all these powers and fractions and things, most likely you would mess up. So don't do that to yourself. Don't lose marks unnecessarily, okay? Divide them.
How did you get 2 and 3?
Okay, well, I would have to break this down. Hold on. So that was just me skipping steps, right? You know, not to take up too much time. But if I did this the long way and I wrote out every single step, we said r to the power of 4 divided by r to the power of 1, that's r cubed. Then if I divide these two fractions, I would get 8 on 27. Let me just say that. 4 on 243 divided by 1 on 18 is the same as multiplying by 18. If you simplify this, 1. So the numerator gave me 72. Denominator is 243. This looks like it could reduce. So reduce the fraction, 243. You would get the 8 on 27. Did you get that? 8 on 27?
Yes, miss.
Okay. But I need to find r, my common ratio. I have r cubed. So in order to get rid of that cube, I need to cube root both sides. R would be equal to the cube root of 8 on 27 which is 2 and 3. Because the cube root of 8 is 2, cube root of 27 is 3, so 2 and 3. Do you understand that now?
Yes, Miss.
Everybody else good with this?
I'm good.
Good, nice. Eden, good? Miss, I thought you simplified. Yes, I did simplify. Hold on, I did simplify. And when I find root 3 of it, I get in a decimal. What's the decimal that you get in? What's the decimal? 0.666 recurring. Okay. You sure, right? Never mind, for sure. You sure you got it out?
Wait, but my calculator get 1.6.
Oh,
I don't get the fraction part. If I put this, I still get it correct?
get, wait, if you put what?
I don't get a fraction. I get 1.632.
Oh, no, that's wrong. You put the cube root of 8 on 27.
Mm-hmm.
You use your bracket.
Well, let me try. Hold on, let me bracket it.
Yeah, you have to use your bracket. You put it on the calculator.
Then bracket 8, 4, 7.
To close the bracket, sir.
Yeah, I still get, maybe it's a calculator I use it.
Can you stand up? Hold on, let me show you what it should look like when you put it into the calculator. So depending on the calculator, some you could actually put in the fraction like this. Some of them you have to use brackets. So you should, the first function you should press is the cube root function. Then in brackets, you should have 8
3,
divided by 27.
then bracket
Close your bracket.
8. Yeah, I still get the 1 point. Maybe it's a calculator. It's okay. I'm gonna get the special calculator. So I'm getting it.
Okay, so after this, take a picture and show me, right? Because that's a problem. You need to know how to use the calculator before the exam. Can't now be trying to figure out how to use the calculator while in the examination room.
Oh, I know to use it. It's the calculator that I'm using. That's why.
The calculator what?
I know to use it. It's the calculator. It's not that special like the others.
Send me a picture after. So now that we have R, we need to find A. How would you do that? Well, since you have your value for R, 2/3, you take one of these equations here, substitute the R to find your A. So let me use the first equation. So I know R is 2/3. So now I take this value of R and I substitute it into one of my equations to find A. I want to use the first equation. So that's A R to the power of 1 is equal to 1 on 18. A by 2/3 is 1 on 18. A would be 1 on 18 divided by 2/3 is the same as multiplying by 3 on 2, which is equal to 3 on 36, which is 1 on 12. That's how I got A is equal to 1 on 12. Everybody good with that?
Yes, Miss.
Troy, Eden, you good? Troy? Last thing, the because they asked me to find the specific formula for the nth term, I know my a and my r. Wait, no, wrong part. I'm trying to find the third term. So that's T3 is equal to a, which is 1 on 12, r, 2/3, and then I'm trying to find the third term. So n is 3, 3 minus 1. Simplify this a bit. 1 on 12 is 2/3 squared. 2/3 squared, yeah? Not 1 on 12 multiplied by 2/3 and then that whole thing squared. No, 2/3 squared, which is 4 on 9. So 1 on 12 by 4 on 9 is 1 on 27. Everybody good with that?
Like, can I repeat again? I want to do something. Sorry.
Repeat what?
The 2/3 and the 3 minus 1 that one. Wait, it's the same thing. Wait, never mind.
Yeah, they want me to find the
No, I wasn't paying attention. I went to do something a while ago.
third term. So all I need to do is substitute n to be 3. I have my a and my r, and I simplify. Right? Let's move on. Okay, so the past paper that tested this. Number 2, 2017, number 2C, part 1. 2017. Okay. Right. Like I said, they love this whole money thing and annual increase, and yeah. So look out for that. Most likely you would guess a question like this. So let's say this is you in the exam and you're reading the question. You should underline key points, well, any key information, or write it down. Or you could do the both of them, right? Whatever. So they want the amount paid in the first year, meaning T1, right? Okay. So the accountant earn a salary of this and this in the third and fifth years respectively. So this is the third year, meaning that this is T3, fifth is T5. And then they told me that this is a geometric series. Geometric series. So I have my third term, fifth term, and I know that this is a GP. Would you like to try it by yourself first? Or you want to do it now with me? Actually, I feel like we should do it together because time is running out. We'll do it together.
Yes, miss. We'll do it together.
So this is, if you look carefully, this question very similar to the one that was on the PowerPoint. I mean, this has more words and bigger numbers. Same concept though. Remember when I told you, you need to look at the structure of the question. If they gave you two terms, so the number of a term and then the value. So they told me the third year is this number, fifth year is this one. Remember, I told you, if you see a question structured like that, automatically you need to think, okay, I need to make two equations. That's the first thing that should go through your head right now when you see a question formatted like that, right? Just like what was on the PowerPoint. So yeah, I need to take this off. Clear. Right. So just like the PowerPoint, let me just scroll down so I have some more space. Just like the PowerPoint, right? I see a question structured like that, so I know I need to make two equations. The third one, the third term, T3, is 5, 3, 9, 8, 2.80. Let's pretend that looks like an 8. And the fifth term, T5, is equal to 6, 0, 5, 9, 8.89. just like the PowerPoint, when you see a question structured like this, what should run through your mind? I need to make two equations. So from my general formula for an AP, remember this, just writing it to the side. Cn is AR. Remember, I just like to put the R in brackets. So you know that the power is only for the R, and that's for both A and R, right? So I know this. Therefore, T3 would be A R bracket, n is 3, so that's 3 minus 1 is equal to this long number here. So I'm just looking it up. 9, 8, 2, that's a 2.80. My T5, instead, I would replace the n with 5, right? So it's A R to the 5 minus 1, and this whole no 0.89. So let me just simplify this a little more. 3 minus 1 is 2, that's AR squared is equal to this whole long number. You write it out, okay? I'm just doing that to save time. You write it out. So that's AR squared is equal to that. And then AR to the power 4 is going to give me this whole long number. So let me label this as equation 2 and this as equation 1. Remember, for GP, when I have a question structured like that, after I get my two equations, the next thing you want to do, divide the two equations. I mean, technically, you can solve these two equations simultaneously, but like I said, that would take very, very long, and you would actually increase your risk of making mistakes, especially with this power to the 4 and R squared. No, don't do it, okay? Just divide them. So we said higher power divided by lower power. Higher power is 4, right? Because 4 is greater than 2. So I would say the second equation divided by the first equation, which would be AR to the power 4 divided by AR squared. And this would be equal to this whole long number. So 60598.89 divided by 53982.80, just like what the PowerPoint had.
1.12.
1.1.
1.12.
When you divide this, are you telling me
Uh,
for R? What is 1.12?
you divide it, I get that.
This?
Wait, never mind. Never mind.
Okay. Well, remember from the PowerPoint, cancel your A's. R to the power 4 divided by R squared. That would be R squared, because 4 minus 2 is 2, so that's R squared. And then this whole thing. Why did they give you such a big number? I don't know. I don't know why they would do that to you. But anyways, 598.89 divided by 53982.80. So you might be tempted to, convert this to a decimal, because who would want to work with those big numbers, right? I understand. But that would affect the accuracy of your answer. So you actually have to leave it like this. It's not very pretty, but that's what you have to do, right? Because your answer might be off if you approximate. No, not might be. It will be off if you approximate too early, right? So this R squared now, from the PowerPoint, I can actually take this and substitute it into here to get my A. Do you understand that? Why I could take R squared and substitute it into this first equation? because this first equation already has r squared. So I just need to take this and put it there. Do you understand that?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Nice. Okay, I need to erase something because screen too messy. So a r squared is this whole fraction there. So I'm just doing that to save time. You write it out, write out the fraction. And this will give me that whole long number. I'll write out the number. So that's 5398180. And all you have to do now simply, well, make A the subject, aka transpose to find A. Can you tell me what answer you get for A?
I got 48,089.
089, and you get some sense like 04, something like that. This is
Yes.
this is actually the answer, right? Because they asked for the first year, which is T1. T1 implies that it's the first term or the first number. That's the same as A. So T1 is the same as A, which is the first term in the series. And that's why this right here, this is my answer. This is the answer for T1. Do you understand that? Yes, no?
Wait, oh, you get that? 48. Oh, you get that?
That's a calculated thing. So you should have this right here, this whole number divided by this fraction here.
Wait. Divide 60, that number.
Take this and then divide it by this fraction.
All of that fraction.
Yep. 800, you get the answer? No. Okay, what's the problem? Did you understand what I did?
Wait. I don't get.
You don't get it?
I get 1.6.
You want this
What the hell?
1.1?
Wait, is it in degree mode, right? It's degree
It doesn't
mode.
matter,
Yeah.
this is funny. Oh, you get only 1 point something thing. Okay. So I need to write this out then. Erasing all this. Erasing all this. Yes. Alright, so the whole thing. Okay, so what you
Oh, I get it.
okay.
480,890. Then 0.04. Correct?
Wait, repeat. It should be
48089
point
0.04414.
yeah, 0.04. So this is the equation I'm working with 182.80. But I want to find A. I need to find this. I have r squared already. R squared. So what I could do is substitute this, right? This fraction into this equation and solve for A. I want to substitute this fraction here into this equation. So I'll get A times this whole fraction here, which is 6 0.0598.89 divided by 53982.80, and this will give me the 53982.80. All I need to do now is to find A. So how would I find A? Well, I need to get rid of this, right? This would come across to this side. So it would become, yeah, divide. So what you should put into your calculator is A is equal to this number here. So 53982.80 divided by this fraction. Or if you don't want to do that, you could also say multiply by the reciprocal, right? So it's 853 yada yada yada, etc. divided by the 0.59 yada yada yada. Can you tell me if you get the answer now? Let me know if you get the answer, right? And then I'll move on. Yes. Okay, good. So that's the only question that tested something like that in all the past papers. So congrats, you just finished all the past papers for that too. Moving on. What is a series? A series is the sum of all the terms in a sequence. For example, back to this 2, 5, 8, 11 thing. So 2, 5, 8, 11, that's a sequence. If I want to write this as a series, which is the sum of all the terms in a sequence, then it would be written as 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 11. Sum of all the terms. That's a series. For what we need to know, and all the expressions that we would, well, formulae that we would encounter just now, you need to know that S of n means the sum of the first n terms in a sequence. So S of n means the sum of the first set of terms in a sequence. Okay? Yeah, so know that. Sum of the first terms in a sequence. That's all you need to know. That's what S of n means. For an arithmetic series, again, you just have to know this. This is also on the formula sheet, but like I said, please don't rely on that too much. Only if you forget, then you look at it. You have to know this. N, let me say, Sn is equal to n on 2 by 2a plus n minus 1d, where n is the number of terms, a is the first term, d is the common difference. Example, find the sum of the first 20 terms of the AP 420 ... First thing you want to do, identify your n, your a, and your d. N, a, d. N, number of terms. They ask me for the first 20 terms. So n is 20. A is the first term of the sequence. Well, A, 4. D, same thing. Second term minus first term, or third term minus second term. So let me just write it out. D would be, let me choose the second minus first. Second minus first is minus 2. Or you could have chosen the third minus the second. 0 minus 2, also negative 2, right? So A is 20, n is 20, A is 4, D negative 2. Second step, and your final step, substitute all these values into your formula. So S of 20 means the sum of the first 20 terms, because that's what I want to find, sum of the first 20 terms. So S20 is equal to 20 on 2. Instead of putting n, I put 20. 2a, instead of putting a, I put the 4 because I know that a is 4. N minus 1, we just said n is 20, and then d we found is minus 2. Simplify, get your answer. That's it. Oh, I didn't put the answer. Okay, quick pass. Yeah, we'll put in the answer. I think I'll put it in the answer. Was this? It's not minus 32 plus 8, so that's minus 30 by 10 minus 300. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Wait, yes, that does make sense. Are you getting minus 300? Just by simplifying this now. So this is 19 by minus 2, that's minus 38, minus 38 plus 8, that's minus 30, and then minus 30 by 10. Are you getting minus 300? Yes, no?
I'm getting 250, but I think it's how I format it on the
Wait.
calculator.
I did something wrong.
No, miss, 250. Well, it could be me, because I just did some mental maths there. Okay, let's break this down. So 20 divided by 2, that's 10. And then this is like a big bracket here. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then 20 minus 1, that's 19. And then 19 by minus 2, that's minus 38. So this is plus, and then this whole value here is minus 38. So just continuing this, eh? This is 10. I want the value in this bracket. So minus 38 plus 8 is minus 13. Which is how
I'm getting it now.
Okay. Can you tell me how you got 250? Just so you know.
I was trying to work it out with the calculator alone, so I just put everything in.
Oh, careful with that, right?
Okay.
8 on 2. Nice. Troy, you got it in this? Minus 300?
Yes, please.
Good, good. I'll put that in after. Right, this formula right here, I've never, in all the ADMAT exams, for all the years, I've never encountered a question where you had to use this formula. This formula isn't even on the formula sheet. So, I don't know if you would ever have to use this in your exam, but I think it's important that you know it. Just note, see this formula, let me take off all this. This formula is the one you have to use most of the time, but you never know. You might get a question where you could use this. I don't know. I just wanted to show you just in case, right? So Sn is equal to n on 2 by a plus l. N still the number of terms, a is still the first term, but L is the last term. Note, you could only use this equation here when you are given the last term. So, example, in an AP, the first term is 5 and the last term is 105. Unless they state, like they actually state, the last term is whatever, don't use this formula. If they didn't say this, the last term is, just use this formula. Just use it, right? Don't look at this, okay? If they did not, if you don't see last term is or the last term is, just don't use this formula, use the other one. But if you do see this, they actually told you the last term is whatever number, then you go ahead and use this, right? That's the difference between this right here, this formula, and the formula from before. The sum of these terms is 1,550. How many terms are there? How many terms? They want n. They told me that the sum of these terms is 150. So, 150. 1,550. So this is S of n. First term is 5. So 5 is A. And then they told me the last term is 105. So that's my L. When you're in your exam, underline or write down the key information in the question. So I have S of n, A, and L. They want me to find n. So first you identify A, L, S of n. Well, Sn, whatever. A is 5, L is 105, Sn is 1,550. Substitute it into the formula, this right here, to find n. And that's it. So Sn would be 1,550 is equal to n on 2 by A, which is 5, so it's 5, L, 105, 105. Simplify, you would get n is equal to 31. So there are 31 terms in that AP. Do you understand that?
Yes, Miss.
So like I said, be careful when you're using this, right? Only use this formula here when you see the last term is. If you don't see that, use the first one. Don't bother with this second one. Okay. Only question.
Wait, oh, you get a 31.
Okay.
I'm working, I don't get it.
So
So 5, 2.
let me write it up. Where it is. So that's 1,550 is equal to n on 2. This right here would give me 110.
1K.
Divide. So n on 2 would be 1,550 divided by 110. What I don't want n on 2, I want n by itself. So just continue in here. I'll have to multiply by 2. So that's 1,550 on 110 by 2. 1,550 divided by 110 by 2. Oh, hello. Okay.
Yes, yes. 28 over 2 over
21.
11.
28. What's this question?
Wait, let me see. 1,550 over 110 times 2. Yeah. 28 over.
No, hold on.
Oh, it's a mix.
The answer is supposed to be 31, but I put that just now and I'm getting 28.
Yeah, I got 28.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'll change that then. It's supposed to be 28 for you. Okay. Oh yeah, that's okay. Less than a minute. Rejoin after. But yes, it's supposed to be 28. I'll change that. Right? I'll explain that just now when we come back.